Welcome to Australia's newest industrial estate, the Hunter Economic Zone. It's a 900 hectare space which is just right for investment by industrial companies looking to synergize and integrate their companies forever. Even better, we're just a short drive from Sydney. Oh, what? We're a 2-hour drive from Sydney? Oh, but you can make that just 30 minutes if you speed. And we have a railway line. Oh, it's abandoned? Well, it's still a railway line, okay? We have hundreds of tenants who have agreed to sign on with us. Wait, what? We don't have any? Oh, that's fine, we can just lie a bit. Don't get left behind. The Hunter Economic Zone might be completely empty right now, but it will take off. It's just in its early days. What's that? It's not in its early days. Ah, that's fine. Wait, 20 years? 20 years? This industrial park has been sitting here empty for 20 years? What? What? I'm not putting my face on this. I'll have you know I did an ad for Surfshark. How can I go from that to this? What? You're gonna keep me hostage until I finish the ad? No, no, get away from me. Stop, stop, no!
Before I continue, massive shout out to my monthly Ko-fi supporters. Please do consider supporting me over on Ko-fi if you can. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already, and do be sure to check out the rest of my channel, your go-to YouTube destination for all things city planning, after the video. The Hunter Economic Zone, or the HEZ, is an industrial park development site located in the Hunter region that has sat abandoned for over 20 years. It's located about 120 kilometers north of Sydney and 30 kilometers west of the port of Newcastle. According to archives of the HEZ website, the site was first identified in the 90s as a potential site for economic development. The Hunter region has historically been home to many mines, and this was for decades the primary employer of the region. However, in the late 90s, these mines started to abandon the region. The council needed a plan if they wanted to save their region from unemployment and economic collapse. That plan was the Hunter Economic Zone. The site was rezoned in March 2002, with construction commencing the same year in August. This involved constructing several roads through the estate, the main one of which was ambitiously named HEZ Drive. In the meantime, their website was confidently boasting the following stats, even daring to quote news articles that themselves were making zealous claims. The roads were all completed by roughly 2005, ready as ever to welcome new tenants into the site. But no one came. Arriving at the turnoff to HEZ Drive from Leggett's Drive, we arrive at two signboards that once both said Hunter Economic Zone. Alas, they say this no more. We can see that this turnoff has been quite ambitiously constructed, as there's a median between both sides of this completely forgotten road.
Oh my god, okay, let me go, I'll do it. Welcome to HEZ. The road to business growth starts here. We deliver world-class infrastructure, low setup costs, and location, lifestyle, and opportunity. Oh, come on man, this sign looks older than me. No wonder no one wants to come here. What? I came here? Well, yes, but you paid me to come here. Oh, you're not paying me anymore?
If we rewind the clock, we can see that this sign has seen better days. It's barely legible now, and it's a wonder that no one has taken it down. What really makes HEZ Drive stick out is how over-engineered it seems to be. There's a footpath, really unusual for a country road, but a hint at its intended purpose. There's also many street lamps, many of which were just left on during the day. The road also has a proper curb, and even, get this, bus space. The vegetation is overgrown. There's litter everywhere, and skid marks from street races doing donuts at night. There's a viewing platform out onto a dirty, forgotten lake. The Hunter Economic Zone is just strange and eerie. You can just sense that there's meant to be something here. Industrial warehouses and factories, and yet there isn't.
Oh, and there's also a railway crossing for some reason. I find it just incredible that there's literally an abandoned railway running through this site. Come on, this is an abandoned industrial site that literally has an abandoned railway. Like, how dystopic is that? Okay, I'll get off your precious abandoned railway, jeez. How much longer are you going to keep me prisoner? I have lawyers, you know. Oh, you kidnapped them too.
This railway is part of the closed Richmond Vale Railway, and I believe this specific section opened in 1922 as a passenger railway linking the nearby Richmond Vale and Pelaw main collieries. It closed in 1959, however the Richmond Vale Railway Museum runs heritage services on this railway. Or at least they used to. I mean, you can clearly tell this is too overgrown to have been used recently. Now, I actually have been lying a bit. The Hes actually does have tenants. But I mean, they only have two, a power station and an aluminium manufacturer. Come on, at least I wasn't lying as hard as the new Hes website, because they claim they have over 50 tenants. Where? There's so many dead ends at the Hes. None of the roads actually lead anywhere.
Look at this, a road to nowhere. Guess what? If you invest in the Hes, your business will also be on a road to nowhere. What, it's true. Can I go now? What? How'd you guys get guns? We're in Australia. The amount of effort you're going to in keeping me hostage, you might as well use on actually finishing your precious Hes.
So, time to address the elephant in the room. What exactly went wrong with the Hes, once meant to save the Hunter from economic collapse? Why is it almost completely empty? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. Let's just take a look at where the Hes is located. Okay, zoom out. More. Okay, you get the idea. There's literally all here. It's a good 22-kilometer drive from the Pacific Motorway, 37-kilometer drive from the port of Newcastle, and so far from Sydney there's not even a point in me telling you the distance. Anyone who considers this strategically located clearly has no idea how to read a map. If its railway was actually functional, there may be value to the site, but the railway itself is a dead end, and links up to nothing. Interestingly, these more detailed 2010 plans suggest that the Hes did have some additional tenants, but who knows what happened to them. Guess they woke up and realised where the Hes was, or rather, where it wasn't. Therefore, is it really any wonder that the former owners of the Hes went bankrupt in 2012? Oh my god! I'm not surprised they went bankrupt with a face like that. How is this a real news article?
Actually, that is incorrect and a common misconception. There are actually many people who were interested in the Hes, however development plans were consistently pushed back due to a population of honey-eaters that were found in the neighbouring bushland here. The leftist commie woke greenies claim that this species is endangered and will not let us build anything here as a result. If it weren't for those hippies, the Hes would be booming right now. The Hes is strategically located. We do know how to read a map and resent the implication that we do not. I am not currently being held hostage.
Okay, actually, part of what I just said is true. The Honeyeater has stymied progress on the Hes. In 2016, Cessnock Council finally came up with plans to recommence development on the site. However, these plans were blocked by the New South Wales government due to the endangered Honeyeater population. And this population seems to have at least partially stood in the way of any development since. The Hes always seems to be on the cusp of greatness. I mean, come on, they literally wanted to build 2 coal power plants here in 2019. And then 2 years later, they claimed they were going to build the world's biggest battery here. The Hunter Economic Zone is like your New Year's resolution. You'll always think this will be your year, but it never will be. Their website has undergone numerous rebrandings and relaunches, and in fact they had the absolute gall in 2021 to release articles in various magazines announcing that the $3.5 billion Hunter Economic Zone was launching, as though it hadn't already been launched 20 years ago. Their current website is confusing at best and dishonest at worst. Other than lying about how many tenants they have, the owners of the Hes also claim to be the owners of 2 non-existent service centres on the Hunter Expressway, a luxurious hotel in Noosa that they themselves admit hasn't been built yet, and supposedly acclaimed residential apartments with no location or images or any evidence of their existence provided. Due to the total lack of anyone or anything here, the Hes has become a common location for illegal dumping, and its long stretches of straight abandoned roads have become a frequent location for illegal road racing. Bollards were put up in March 2021 to try and prevent this. However, unfortunately this came with its own price. A car crashed into these bollards in April 2021, tragically leading to the death of its 17-year-old passenger. My condolences to his family.
So, what does the future hold for the Hez? Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say nothing. Nothing has happened here in 20 years. Why should anything change now? In the meantime, the Hez remains an eerie, haunting industrial development. A good case study into the dangers of poor planning, and a site that will likely forever remain lost to time. But of course, you guys aren't gonna let me say that, are you? So come one, come all, and join the Hez, Australia's most exciting development that will one day rival such massive projects as the Great Pyramid and the International Space Station. This is by far the most exciting thing to ever happen to Australia. Bill Gates and Elon Musk themselves have begged us to let them build their factories here. So don't be left behind. We've gotten off to a slightly longer than average start, but we'll be the changing face of Australia in no time at all. Now please, please let me go home.